Christmas in just a few days. This is coming in alongside of baby Bennett's 9-month update, as I'm trying something a little bit different just to give everybody kind of a heads up of what's going on in our family's life. Bennett turned 9 months old on December 18th, and it's pretty hard to believe that he's that big already. We have started trying to take some steps, shaky, unstable, but still trying. And he refuses to crawl on all fours, but can army crawl with the best of them. So that's very exciting for him. So it's been a really exciting Christmas season with him. He loves the lights. He's always on the go, loves people food, sometimes a little bit too much, and we are just overwhelmingly happy with our sweet little boy. Last Christmas, a year ago today, I came home from working full-time at the company I was at with the intention of being a full-time stay-at-home mom. I had this image in my head of what being a stay-at-home mom was supposed to look like. And that's one of the most important things too that I wanted to know. I learned very quickly, and through the wisdom of a lot of the moms around me who have really spoken into my life since having my son, there is no one right way to do this motherhood thing. In fact, the more opinions and noise, I'll say, that you can get sucked up in, the sheer amount of that is just overwhelming. And especially my first couple of months as a mom, I felt very lost and confused and struggled with a lot of different things. And I found that there really wasn't a super safe place to discuss it. There were a lot of people who were willing to share their opinion with me, but very few people were actually willing to listen and be receptive. And the few in my life that were the ones who really got me through it and told me the best piece of advice I've heard so far, which is that you have to find what works for you and your baby. My dynamic with my son is different than anyone else's dynamic with their children. And while the advice and the opinions are healthy, they're also supposed to be taken with a grain of salt and prayerfully considered on the path to finding the right wisdom to raising your child. Because every child's different, and what might work for one will not work for the others. So in the name of going on that journey, in the name of trying to figure out what this whole motherhood journey looks like for me, I decided to kind of revamp my blog. Anybody who's followed me for a long time knows I love to write. I got a degree in writing. I love it so much. I started a blog, I think 2 years ago now. I think it was the end of 2021, right after I got engaged. And I had this complete dream of what this blog was going to look like and what I was going to do with it, and found out I was expecting right after we got married, and it became a whole busy season of working full time. And I'll go into Dakota's and my stories on some other video, but what I've really prayerfully considered is what to do with it now. Many years ago, gosh, it's been 2018, I started an Instagram post series called Stories of a Performer. That was back in my acting days, when I was doing that pretty heavily right at the end of high school and then into the first of my college career. And those posts are some of the most vulnerable and deep and emotional things I'd ever written, really before I had any idea that I really might want to try writing. It was just something I dabbled in. It was kind of like an online journal, if you will. At the time when I wrote them, I called them mixed pieces of fact mixed with fiction to communicate a really great story. And God really played through each one of those posts, and it's crazy to look back now at them and think of how much has changed, but then see along the way just his divine hand of providence over all of it. And I absolutely love it looking back now. But those stories and those chapters that I wrote, that's my writing style. And so I was looking at those and trying to think about what could I do in a similar vein, because the feedback I got on those posts via social media was very positive. A lot of people seemed to resonate with the content and the faith building part of it. And so I really wanted to figure out how could I incorporate that into the season of life that I'm in now, because obviously I'm not performing. I am home with my kiddo. And that's when I got the idea to revamp that blog that I've kind of let die, as I know a lot of people probably can relate on, to stories of a mother. And so that first story has been posted on Dreamers Well, my blog website, on a brand new page. I'm taking that same main character from 5 years ago and moving you forward into her life now, praying that I will be able to reach a even bigger demographic than I did back then. I'm praying about what to do with those other ones. I have an idea for a devotional that I would love to get published and out in the world, Lord willing. But this next season of my life is, I'm a mom, and I only 9 months in, I know, but I definitely already feel as though I have kind of felt like I found a hole in the advice market as far as somebody that can share an opinion or share really an experience, not even an opinion, but without being biased or judgy or anything like that. Truly just a place where a mom shares her feelings and her thoughts in this journey on to motherhood. And it's messy and loud and beautiful and busy and lonely and crazy and fun and terrifying all at the same time. And that's what I wanted to write about and what I have felt led to write about. In addition to that, I'm launching a YouTube channel at the same time. So I have no idea what any of this is going to look like. God's given me a very small vision of what I'm supposed to start. So I'm going to start here. The other piece to this that I'm super excited to announce is I wrote a book. Part of my degree is in creative writing, and so our final project was to culminate in a novel that we published. And I submitted that novel off to multiple agents, never got it published, but I still want to do something with the capstone project and share another part of my writing style and story with you all, and hopefully to bless some people with some fun entertainment. I'm also going to be publishing once a week, either one chapter or just a few pages of each chapter of the book that I wrote. And I would love your feedback and opinions on it. It's something that, looking back on it now, even since I wrote it 2 years ago, I can see where it's by no means perfect, but it's my first attempt at writing a full-length novel, and I would love some feedback on it. Yeah, in this season that I'm in, it's really been a struggle to kind of figure out what I can and can't do. And you kind of get to the point, or at least I did as a stay-at-home mom at 22, now 23 years old. My dreams had to change. So, before I had my son, I was heavy into my performing. I loved it so much. I was ready to take off an audition for Disney and go work down there full time. And God changed my path. So because he did that, I have then had to wrestle really hard with, well, then what dreams are still feasible? What does that look like now? What does my life look like now? Do I have to give up on everything I always dreamed of doing? So a lot of the Stories of a Mother blog are going to be a lot of my journey through that, which I hope blesses someone else. And the book is something I quit on, I'll be honest. Once you get I got about 50 rejection letters for that novel from agents all around the nation. And when you get that many rejection letters, you kind of start to go, well, maybe I'm not quite as good at this whole writing thing as I thought, even though I have a degree in it. But nonetheless, I'm going to try. And just because you don't get the first one published doesn't mean it won't ever happen. Anyway, I want to share it all with you. So thank you if you made it this long through the video. This is the first video I've ever put on YouTube of something like this. So I'll be back soon with a family update. Have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. This will probably be the only video that goes up for me between now and New Year's because we get super busy with family coming in from out of town and everything. But yeah, thanks so much.